Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio. Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
Cradle Radio. This is Cradle Radio. This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio. And this is when I say lights, camera, and action. I say that with a glimmer of hope and thinking everything is just gonna function well. I say preparedness is also necessary for stuff like this. We're always prepared from Cradle Studios, and we're always ready for this. My name is Akinloye, and this is Canada.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
And thankfully, we're on 3 different portals. When I'm in portals, we're on Cradle Radio. And besides that, we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube as well in the morning hour. It's the 9th day in the month of December 2025. So if you're listening to this, let's say a decade from now, or decades from now, or even eons from now, you're going to know a man graced this planet called Akinloye, giving you This is Canada happenings at this moment in time. I'm grateful for the gift of life. I'm grateful for everything that God has given unto me. I'm grateful for even the sense of having that awareness of being here alone. That's something that I'm always grateful for. And what can I say? What can I do? Every time I'm behind the microphone, I just feel like, and not just feel like, it is a powerful tool. And besides that, if you don't disseminate that information or those information at any given time, you feel like you're not doing justice to humanity. We're here, and this is cool. This is Canada. If you're joining us for the very first time, This is Canada as a flagship coming from Cradle Radio. The Cradle Radio being a radio station that allows you to enjoy radio as radio is, with a twist in terms of the technological know-how. It's so different this day and age, but we're thankful for that as well. Having to just wake up alone is something that I take really important. I take it. I don't take it with levity. I'm grateful. Sometimes you just feel like, am I going to wake up? Yeah. Well, thankfully, the Creator decides for you to wake up. And what we do on This is Canada is we showcase happenings, events, and things happening around Canada. And if perchance those things might just be things happening in your part of the world, in your region of the world, you're very, very much welcome. If you're friends of Canadians, you're very, very welcome. If you're adversaries, you might learn a thing or two from us. You're definitely welcome. It's a global village, they call it this day and age. And it just keeps getting smaller and smaller by the day. So, This is Canada showcases the socio-political, economic, cultural happenings, events, and so many other things happening in Canada. We'll bring it to you, flesh it out a bit, and then it's a form of awareness creation and a debatable awareness creation. And when we talk about certain departments or industries, we're not chastising those people that are head in those organizations or ministries or departments. We're just hopefully thinking that they might just borrow from free advices that might be coming from here. So I don't call it criticism. I don't call it that. I just call it things coming straight from the heart. And hopefully somebody can make use of that. And we're thankful for everybody that's following us on all our social media handles as well. We're thankful for that. We're all practically on all social media platforms with that. Even though we're running full steam on the likes of our live stream portals, about in each and every place too, we'll get that in terms of having to spread or broadcast as well to those places. But we're there. We're practically everywhere. Join in, follow us, subscribe, and then we could be talking. And now, I wanted to go as far as going towards fertilizers this morning. That's what I plan on the top of my head. Fertilizers as being a debate that's happening as regards the tariff of Canadian fertilizers. Probably we'll do that tomorrow. And like I'm accustomed to, things does happen in a jiffy, and when it does happen, you will probably just switch board, and that's where we're here, and that's where the experience counts as well. So I was about talking fertilizers. I was talking the Wild Wild West, president of the Wild Wild West, wanting to create its own fertilizers back in their country instead of buying from Canadian producers. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That was what was slated to be talked about today anyways. I just wanted to give you a brief of how we work around there. Then I came across a beautiful thing, and I said, Akiloy, we ain't gonna talk about this one at this moment in time. We're gonna talk about something different. We'll talk about something different. And we'll talk about things that might just get Canadians happy. Incidentally, it happens to be something brewing in Ontario, so it comes close to home that way. And I said to myself, let's talk about this instead. We'll talk about fertilizers tomorrow. There will be a little bumpy discussion, but let's talk about the good things happening as of now. And I'll tell you something for sure. If you've not thought about having to change profession, I believe this is a set time in which you can change your profession. I'm not trying to sway you from what you used to or your professional dream. I'm just saying that there is something that is a profession that is needing expertise in all of Canada. And hopefully it could be that even people that are being here, that are landed immigrants, or by one way or the other, have their paper right. And not only that, too, you know, people that are in Canada, it might be refugees, asylum seekers, and all that as well. You got to consider those people who happen to have the expertise in what I'm about talking about this morning. And those people, too, need to be heard and given the opportunity, because in the time of want, a person clamoring for help ain't got no choice. And I rephrase that, all right? That's not how the saying goes. That's not how the saying goes. So, this morning we're talking about something that you might have seen, you know, if you follow us real good, you might have seen in the headline. The headline I put on screen for you as well. Doctor wars in Ontario. Municipalities lock arms in a battle for family physicians. We lacking family physicians, not only in Ontario. I believe in the whole of Canada. I believe in the whole of Canada. We lack physicians. I said something about months ago about me having to wait 6 years before I found myself a family doctor. But right now, municipalities are taking the bull by the horn. They've decided to do things that will be beneficial to their municipality. And this morning, we're going to tackle that. We'll talk about that. Is it a good thing? I believe it's a good thing, because I don't believe any municipality should be waiting upon quota system that allows for physicians to be sent over to them. You got to build incentives. So when municipalities decide to take the bull by the horn, I always give people like that, or environmental community, an applause. And sometimes you look at things and you ask yourself a bigger question: if the people that you elected into the place of authority, whether they're working like they should. Whether they're working like they should. And sometimes you say to yourself too, yeah, I think they are. I think they're doing their due diligence. I think they're doing their due diligence. And when you go around and asking for things and looking at things and asking yourself, why is this not working? You might just look around and say, what did you put in there to make decisions? I saw doctors, incentives. So if you're a medical student or you're a medical practitioner today, you might just want to listen to this show. Medical students, just brace for it. Keep up the hard work. Keep up the hard work. It's something that I read. It's not been too long since I read it, but it made me happy in a shorter time. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you're just joining us for the very first time, this is Canada. It's a show titled This is Canada from the studios of CradleRadio. And you tune in on this, and today we take a look into the growing crisis that's quietly reshaping communities across the province. Not only the province, but the nation, as I'll put it, in general. It's been called the doctors' wars. Municipalities, big and small, are now competing fiercely for family physicians, each offering increasing attractive incentives to lure them in. You heard me, right? Maybe I could probably just go learn medicine or go back to school and go be a doctor or something now. Who knows? And at the heart of this struggle, millions of Ontarians still without a family doctor. I can speak for other provinces because I don't live in there. I live in the province of Ontario. So I personalize this sometimes, and I look at myself and ask myself a bigger question. If, as a Canadian citizen that moved from one city to the other, and the craziest part was that I was told to write to my family doctor that I have moved and I would not be needing her services no more, which I did. And this was an advice. It was not even an advice. It was, if I needed a family doctor through the portal in which I wanted to get to it, I needed to write and fire my family doctor, so to say. Because if we say, I don't want you no more, I've moved, I'm not going to be commuting 2 hours to come to you, that's the prerequisite for you getting the help you need in searching for a medical. That's through the portal that I went through. And I waited over 5 years before I could get one. Over 5 years. Yes, in Canada. I waited over 5 years for that. And eventually I got myself one. Very nice individual like that. Yeah. And 5 years, people, in this same Canada. So when we say Ontario, that's why sometimes I personally personalize this stuff to Ontario, because I can speak for other provinces. You know, Ontario is facing one of the worst family doctor shortages in recent history, and I wonder why. Because I've not seen us advertise, come and become a doctor on social media, but we advertise things that will bash other ideas or all other decisions that were taken from other places, if you know what I mean. We advertise. I have not seen an advert on TV or on social media or even on YouTube to say, come be a doctor. You can save lives. Oh, well, that's a catch, man. I should write that down. Come be a doctor. You can save lives. Don't use it, guys, all right? It's documented already because we're live streaming this. I'm the first person that said this, hopefully. So when you look at that, you ask yourself, how come we're not advertising in other countries of the world on social media, which is a powerful tool these days, on different platforms, to say Ontario, by the way of Canada, needs doctors? Because there's so many doctors that would rather want to just come over. Is there a program set aside for doctors alone? Because we're in shortage of doctors. You know, from Northern Ontario to the outskirts of the GTA, the message is the same. You know, patients are waiting, clinics are are closing and rural communities are desperate. Totally desperate. Municipal leaders say they're being forced into a bidding war. You got to bid for a medical practitioner, a physician, family physician, a race they never wanted to run, just to secure one or two physicians who can help keep their local healthcare systems alive. Now, I tell you something. When I said it's a bidding war, it is a bidding war. And I'll let you know how it is. And I'll tell you which municipalities are offering what and what. Just stay with me, don't go nowhere.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
Welcome back. If you're just joining in, welcome aboard. This is cool. This is Canada. My name is Akinloye, and we do this from Mondays through Thursday from the hours of 10 to 11. We're live streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and we're live broadcasting on Cradle Radio. So if you're on Cradle Radio now, just go on the right side where the play button is, play. You're listening to a live radio show. Okay? So, and one of the things that I've realized over time is the need for necessities, the need to actually get over and get involved in the idea of curbing what you seem not to be able to lay your hands on. Necessities, medical practice is a necessity. If you got to bid for it, you got to bid for it. You got to throw an incentive into the practitioners to come over to your side. You got to do it. Now, the incentives have become remarkably competitive. And I saw this morning, I read from somewhere this morning as well, in a little bit of time, I saw that Niagara, which is a part of Ontario, is offering $100,000 incentive for medical doctors, family physicians, so to say. The signing bonuses ranging from $50,000 even up onto $200,000 in some other places. $200,000. Now, student loan forgiveness packages. So if you've had student loans that you're dealing with as a medical doctor, you might just have the opportunity of being forgiven, meaning the municipality might just take care of it. Doesn't matter how much you own or you're owning or you've owed. Now, free and subsidized housing for up to 2 years, meaning you could have quarters. And it's getting interesting and it's getting better by the day. Free and subsidized housing in a province where housing seems to be a headache. And I'm talking about packages right now in the province of Ontario. You could just go Google it. You could just go find out which city is giving more. I don't think St. Catharines is paying as much as Niagara is. So don't look at it because of proximity and look at it like, okay, maybe St. Catharines. No, St. Catharines ain't paying $100,000 as an incentive for family physicians. Well, clinic space built or renovated at taxpayers' expense. They can't even give you a space to practice. Now it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better and better. Now, in a place where people, forget what you read on the pages of news. A friend of mine and I were talking yesterday, and he was talking about how hard it is after getting so much in terms of his professional expertise. And he's saying he doesn't even understand. He sent so many resumes out, and it seems like the people that are not even qualified are the ones getting the jobs because he's really qualified. And I was just telling him, you know what? I don't even know no more, man. It just seems that everything is in topsy-turvy. And we were talking at length, but back to what we're talking about this morning. And what made me talk about that is, for medical practitioners, family physicians, some of the incentives includes spousal employment assistance. It's getting better. It's getting better. And it's getting shady. Spousal employment assistance. I'm not even going to criticize incentives. It's an incentive. So it's not a case of your spouse coming with you from wherever you're coming from and he or she don't have a job. No, they're going to assist in getting your spouse work. Business grants to help physicians establish private practices. It's getting better. It's getting better. And believe you me, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about it. It's just crazy, isn't it? Lovely, yet crazy. Business grants. I've not even had a business grant in this city. I've not had a business grant in 6 years. I've not even had a business grant at any point in time. Business grants to help physicians establish private practices? Now they're going to cap it with relocation costs, which will be fully covered. Let's say you're coming from God knows where. Let's say you're coming from, let's say, I don't know wherever you're coming from. Your relocation cost is going to be covered as well. Man, I should have followed my mother's footstep and just gone into medical practices, man. Yeah. Relocation costs fully covered. Some northern communities are even offering partnership pathways and profit sharing in local medical centers. That's right. Municipalities say these incentives are no longer luxuries, other necessities in the fight to attract scarce medical talents. That's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. Now, the consequences of doctor wars, which I am deep within my mind, I'm thinking there might be consequences of all of this. It might just be something that you got to contend with. And I'm talking about the municipalities, the different regions, areas that's involved in this bidding wars as regards doctors. When municipalities compete against each other, the wealthiest ones wins, leaving smaller towns struggling to survive. And that's the reality. That's the reality. Communities in northern and rural Ontario say they simply can match the financial muscles of larger municipalities. And that's the realization of the truth. Small municipalities cannot match the financial strength of the bigger municipalities. It's not. If you look at how much is the municipality even, getting in. So you want to give a family physician all of that incentive? But I'm thinking, from my mind, I'm thinking, what's the numbers that's involved in having family physicians? Because if the center is cracked, when I'm in the center this morning, I'm talking about Canada. I'm not trying to say this whole incentive idea is not the best. I'm not saying it's not good. But I'm just saying, when the center is cracked, everything is going to fall to pieces. Instead of the center to give those incentives on a national level, disbursement and distribution of experts that might help different municipalities. And I'm talking about disbursements of revenues or incentives. Distribution of these experts as well, for there not to be, and there might just be a case of people moving and leaving some communities or municipalities and moving to where they can get medical benefits. I could go on and on and on like that. A small township municipality ain't gonna have the power and the financial strength of a larger municipality. And that's just a simple common sense. And now the Senate seems to, posture in akimbo, thinking, okay, let them deal with it themselves. It is a crazy world. It's like an animal farm right now. It is like an animal farm. They can't match their muscle. They can't match the larger communities. And experts have warned that now this unregulated competition would actually worsen the overall shortage. Who knows? It's like the richer municipalities, once they have what they want, they don't care about what any other person wants. And that's why I say when the center is cracked, all the pieces fall apart. Things fall apart. That's a title credited to the one and only, the great Chinua Achebe. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing because it can relate to this. It could relate to this. Patients are already driving hours for basic care. I did it. I was driving from Waterloo to Mississauga for some months before I said, you know what? No. I'm just gonna keep myself healthy, and I ain't gonna go nowhere. And I had to wait 5-6 years for that. But how many people can afford that? Especially people who need medical emergencies. When due. People need to see doctors. People need to see their physicians on a regular. That's totally understandable. Even when you go to the ER is asking you, oh, who's your family doctor and all that? What if you don't have? Then they send you to just any pharmacist that's not a medical doctor that could analyze what you've been given to chew on. It's a crazy world we're living in there. This is Canada, people. I'm not scaring you, but if you're a medical doctor, this might just be your day. It might just be one of those days that you love, and then you look at yourself and say to yourself, now this is a time. This is like a jackpot time, huh? Patients are already driving hours for basic care. Emergency rooms continue to close overnight due to physician shortages. You even go to the ER in remote places, and I'm not saying some places are remote, but farther from your homes, you wait 5 hours. It has happened to me a couple of times. The strain on hospitals is becoming unsustainable. And that means the people who need the care the most, people like seniors, children, new immigrants are being left behind. It now becomes a case of, before you move to some place, you say to yourself, oh, you know what? I'm going to find out if I can get a medical physician or a doctor for my family before I move in there. Municipal leaders across the provinces are now calling on the Ontario government to step in. Many are demanding a province-wide physician distribution strategy. I'm not a policymaker. I'm not in a place of government, but I did tell you there needs to be distribution. Earlier on, there needs to be distribution, adequate distribution, disbursement and distribution. What do I know, right? I'm just a guy of an African heritage who probably doesn't know, right? Incentives funded at the provincial level instead of uneven municipality bidding. More residencies and training opportunities in rural communities, and streamlined licensing for internationally trained doctors. Getting more doctors. On the case of necessity and want, there will be scampering all over the place. Until that happens, the doctors' wars will continue and stakes will only get higher. That's definite, and that's for sure. This is Canada, people. This is Canada. And in as much as it looks like today's topic is a buffet for doctors, decision makers might just borrow a thing or two from there, and we might just be helping ourselves out, hoping that what's applicable in this municipality is also applicable. If you go to every municipality, you'll find a pharmacy in there. So what is wrong? How come we're not having doctors? There are shortages of doctors. Are you utilizing, and I'm talking about the country in general, is the country utilizing the medical doctors that resides in that country itself? And I'm talking Canada this morning. So many doctors that are in here. Stop making doctors that come from other countries. Stop making them go pick grapes. Stop it. It's one of those crazy moments that you look at and you ask yourself, come on, we should know better. This is a necessity. It's like drinking water. You're not going to have a headache and go like, you know what, I'm just going to just prescribe something for myself. I write on a paper. The pharmacist is going to look at you and go like, where do you think you are, the jungle? Well, apparently it's becoming a jungle out here. And that's just my thought process. That's what I think. Now, don't forget, if you have any information for us, you can send it to us. And our email is going to be shown on screen now. info@CradleRadio.com. That's how to get to us. info@CradleRadio.com. And don't forget, you can visit the website for Cradle Radio, www.CradleRadio.com. And then you could just press on the play button, which is, I think it's on the right-hand side, the red play button, and you will be live. You'll be listening to what's happening. And whatever you're hearing at this moment, Cradle Radio is a 24-hour radio station that is on 24/7. So you ain't going to be like, oh, is it pre-recorded? No, we don't record nothing. What you see is what you get. Or what you hear is what you get at every point in time.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
Now, Ontario municipalities are doing everything they can to keep healthcare accessible. But the battle for family doctors is exposing deep regional inequalities. Now, the question now is, who can offer the biggest bonus? It's whether the province can restore balance before more communities lose access to care altogether. My name is Akinloye. This is Canada. As on from Monday through Thursday, from the hours of 10 to 11. We streaming live on Facebook, and we're streaming live on YouTube as well. We're live broadcasting, though, on Cradle Radio. So whatever you see and what you're hearing is something that is right now happening in the Cradle Studios in Ontario, Canada. Okay? I'm Canadian through and through in terms of balance. So it's not because I live in Ontario, that's why I'm talking about Ontario. And sometimes you might just go to New Brunswick, you might just go to Newfoundland, and we could go to anywhere in terms of reading in the news and happenings in those areas as well. We might just go to Halifax, we might go to Calgary, we might just be this as Canada people. And what can we say? If we cannot maintain a balance in distribution and disbursement of resources, manpower, it becomes an elitist society where the rich is only the one getting what they want. And this is applicable to medicine also. Medical practitioners being poached into communities, municipalities that are rich. What happens to the municipalities that can afford these incentives? What happens to all of those other people who need adequate medical care? So while the people you vote into places of authority are busy placing adverts in other countries, spending huge sums of money, somebody just needs to nudge on these people and ask them, or possibly whisper it to these individuals and say, why don't we advertise that we need medical practitioners? Most importantly, family physicians. Hopefully that could get better, and hopefully that could resolve the situation or lessen the burden that arises from this disarray. It's been a pleasure doing this. Hopefully you stay safe today. It's slippery out there. It's cold out there. It's one of those days where you just want to just go to somewhere sunny. But it is our country. It is my Canada. And my name is Akinloy. And I'm going to wrap this up now. And don't forget, regular broadcast returns on Cradle Radio. You would hear a whole lot from Cradle Radio at every given point in time. And tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow we're going to talk about fertilizers. That's right, fertilizers. It's probably going to affect the manufacturers of that product. That's going to be a bump on the road. Winter is here, people. Have yourself a blessed day.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
The home of